About the win, I want to congratulate Appalachian State, starting with the atmosphere that they have here. It's so different when I was here, and they've turned this into a place that's very difficult to play. It's fun to play. Their students are unbelievable. They were here when we showed up before the game. They're very active. They didn't quit, and when they got down by a bunch, they didn't give up. They kept playing, or the fans kept cheering, and that's really, really good and helps their team. Coach has got a great team. They were picked to win the game. They were 42-7 at home, I think, which is the sixth best sixth best record in college football at home, which is really, really good for them. But there's two great offenses today, two tremendous quarterbacks. I told their quarterback, I haven't seen ours yet, I told their quarterback it was a tremendous performance. He just kept coming back and back and back. And as many things as we've got to fix on defense, they had two two-point play stops to win the game. So you got to give them credit for that, and they didn't quit. And this team has never lost a game on the road. That's humorous. You all missed that. You're tired. And this team needed a hard-fought fourth quarter game on the road. We've got to mature and not just continue to make immature mistakes. We had a freshman after the onside kick come out and taunt a guy. I mean, he didn't play. So come on, man. Stay over there and grow up. We have a defense that when they get a turnover, they run over and start chanting in front of the fans. At least we didn't run out on the field this time when we kicked a field goal that was good. So we just got to grow up. We've got a lot of inexperienced players that are they're high with emotion, but we had the game well out of reach and didn't put it away. And you got to put it away. So I'm proud that we won, but we have a fourth down stop and there's a holding penalty. We have we decided instead of going 4th and 10, we were going to go 3rd and 16. It ended up 4th and 12. We were in great shape. We have a late hit, or it would have been 4th and 12 instead of 4th and 8. So those are things we got to fix. We've got to change that. We've got to play better in the secondary. We didn't get enough pressure on the passer. All those things are things we need to do. And then offensively, you score 63 points with a freshman quarterback that's never had a road game. And the play that Drake made at the end of the game to win the game, what a play. He's got a free man. He knows he's going to get hit right in the chest. And he kept his poise and found DJ Jones open for the touchdown. So Drake May is a special young guy. Did he screw some things up? Yes. Did we have some noise penalties where we had motion? Yes. Did we fumble the ball and give them a chance to get back in the game with a freshman quarterback? Yes. But they scored 63 points. And when they needed to answer, they did answer. The 1-minute drill right before the half was the way you draw it up. It was perfect and scored with 5 seconds left. So kicking game was good. Noah Burnett, that first time he's ever kicked in a game, and he kicked it straight through with confidence. The punting game was good. The kickoff was good. So the kicking game really helped us. But it was just a great game that played by two tremendous offenses and both defenses that have a lot to fix.
Mack,
Questions?
can you imagine, or you've experienced a lot of games, anything come to mind quite like that thing?
I am really happy to win. I remember we beat Baylor 58-54, and I was mad. And Baylor should have been mad too. But if you win, every week's different. You take a win and go. We were underdogs and hadn't won a road game all last year. So anybody that thinks I'm going to be mad or disappointed over this one doesn't understand coaching. I am excited to win against a really good team on the road where we had the game probably better than a blowout. It's better that it came back and got close and we had to fight and overcome some adversity to win. If you script it for the long run. And the only thing that's important right now is you're 2-0. Anything less than that wasn't going to be good, but we were 2-0.
You said that you have a lot of things to fix, but how do you process the balance here of all the things that were positive today, all those young receivers stepping up, and then giving up 40 points and 338 yards in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it's easier to coach them when you win. We will be all over them. And they got to get more discipline. They've got to cover better. We've got to get more pressure on the quarterback. We can't have face mask penalties. We can't have a late hit. I mean, there's all kinds of things we can coach, so good for us. It's easier to coach them when you win.
Mack, all offseason, you talked about how last year's team was up and down. You couldn't win on the road, as you said. Couldn't win close games. 1-8 in close games under you entirely. So does this game show to you that everything you preached in camp has sunk in and that it's working?
Yes, that's what I told them. You didn't cave. You kept fighting. A team that's going to lose like we did at Pitt and State is going to give up and not make the play on the 2-point plays. So negative people will be all over the negatives today, and positive people will be all over the positives, and people that love football will talk about how great a game it was. And that's just the life we live.
What did you think about Kobe Paystor's performance in the absence of Josh Downs?
Kobe really did a lot of great things this spring, so we were not surprised at all. And then Josh was out some in preseason, so Kobe had to step up and play. We were disappointed. We only played him 15 snaps last week. He should have played more. And it's hard to get Josh out of the game because he's mad. He wants to play all the time. But to not bring our probably best offensive player, in fact, period, our best offensive player, our 2 best receivers on the road and still score 63 points, you got to feel good about where we're headed.
Is there an update on Josh or anything you can tell us about his injury?
No. Jeremy will tell you that on Monday.
Sometimes basketball coaches.
He could not have played today. Some people said, did he pull himself out? No. It was, we didn't even have to get to the doctor's decision because he said he wasn't ready to play. But he didn't want to be here and be on the sideline for his teammates.
Coach, have you ever been around a wilder game than this?
Yeah, that Baylor one was kind of like that. I've had a few like this. You've had 34 years of this stuff. There's been some mixed in there. And really and truly, nobody ever remembers anything about them except who won. That's the only thing that matters. There'll be a lot of talk tonight, and then on Monday, everybody will be wanting to have somebody fired. And then on Tuesday, they'll be excited about being 2-0. So that's the world I live in.
You touched on this, but what can a win like this, the way you did it, and leaving here with a road win do for the trajectory of the season moving forward?
It can do so much because we can coach them harder on the things that they're not doing well. And there's a lot of inexperienced guys. Omarion didn't get loose today, so Caleb Hood did. Whoever knows, who would have thought about that coming into the game? Kobe Paysauer steps up. We didn't know about that before we came into the game. So you're just getting better and better. When you've got a great quarterback, you got a chance. And Drake is a great quarterback that will only get better and better and better. He threw a hitch on a slant side once to start the second half. So there's things that he can do a lot better, believe it or not, as good as he's played.
What did you like about his performance in general?
Just his composure on the road. All their composure. They didn't quit. They didn't get down. They just kept fighting. They're immature. We've got some things that were exposed in the first game we got to fix. So we just got to keep working to fix them. We don't have free agency.
It's only 2 games, but are you already at a point with Drake where every time he throws a ball, you think it's going to go exactly the way it's supposed to go?
Yes, Drake's very, very much like Colt McCoy. I thought that was Sam too, but he threw a post with just a quick short arm once with people all over him. I mean, he has tremendous talent, and he's a football player. And he loves it, and he's tough, and he never rattles at any time during the game. So he will be hard on himself when you all talk to him. He'll be wanting to see the video on the bus ride home so he can get better. That's just who he is. I think he has such a great upside.
There are some who will say there's not much value for a program like Carolina going on the road to play an App or East Carolina. What do you say to those types of people after this type of game?
I say it was a great game for the state of North Carolina. I'll say that.
Back of all the crazy plays in the game with Bryson Nesbitt picking up that onside kick, maybe the craziest one of the day.
I know, and we told him, great job, get down. Game's over if you get down, and we have to extend it. So, but that's what I'm talking about. Bryson's never had an onside kick, but we got both of them, which is better than the last time we had an onside kick. But get down. Get down. He was so excited he scored, and our coaches were all saying, no, man, come on, the game's over. But that's teachable moments. There's so many teachable moments in this game, and again, you can be harder on them and teach them harder after you win.
this may not be the right way to ask this, but during that fourth quarter, when they're just scoring at will, going up and down the field, is there a sense of helplessness from someone who's been through all the stuff that you've been through when there's almost nothing you can do about it? They're just doing what they're doing?
You should get a stop. Get a stop. Every time they get ready, I think we're gonna get a stop. I believe in these kids. And they've worked so hard. I think there's gonna be a tip ball. I think there's gonna be an interception. And what they've got to do is just start making plays. We're not making plays in the secondary. We've got to start doing that. We got to do it better.
Coach, on the play where Drake threw the touchdown and then got hit, he struggled to get up there for a second. Was that wind or was that something more serious?
I think he's fine. He's tough. He was going back. I thought we were going to have to go back out there and take it the length of the field with 31 seconds left and 2 timeouts, and that was doable today. So. And then I was worried that when we were kicking off to them with 9 seconds left, they had too much time left if we didn't get the onside kick. So that's the day it was.
Mack, are you also starting to see, you talked about Drake's composure, are you also starting to see the offense around him kind of have that belief and confidence? Where if you would have been in a position, you got to go the length in 30 seconds, the guys go out there believing that Drake is going to make the play.
Yes, absolutely. They're so confident in Drake. And he's earned that. He showed it in the spring. He showed it in preseason. He's so accurate, and he can run. He made countless number of plays today that he can run, and he's old beyond his years. When they brought him all on that 3rd down and 10, he knows he's going to get hit, and he just, with his height, he gets the ball over to DJ Jones, which was the difference in the ball game.
How much do those young receivers grow up today?
They grew up a lot last week and today. They're really good, and hopefully we'll get Josh back, and then when we get Antoine back, these guys are getting so much experience. J.J. Jones started the day off right, so he played really, really well. Adam?
I'm trying that here, Mack.
I know, they don't. They stuck you in the back.
AJ's just firing them off up there.
Let me just say it into this.
Is part of the message, is it okay to feel a little lucky? You know what I'm saying? Is that part of the message to the team? I mean, the 1-2-point conversion where they could have gone ahead with 31 seconds. I mean, the play was there, but it's just out of the guy's reach. Rucker and Noah Taylor stopped Rice just on the goal line there on the second 2 point. I mean, is that part of it? Like, I don't know if lucky is the right way to phrase it, but is it okay, for them to feel that way, do you think?
I think when a team's up by 23 or something, you wouldn't call them lucky. We had a lot of really close calls with the officials, none of which went our way, not one. We had a fumble that we couldn't possibly have with a quarterback to give them some chance to get back in the game. So we were as unlucky as we could possibly be and still won the game, in my estimation.
It's produced 2 barn burners in a row. Is this a series you'd like to see continue?
Bubba's sitting right in the back. It is continuing. They'll be in Chapel Hill next September.
Beyond that.
That's up to Bubba. He and Rick's schedule got them right here. So you can talk to them and have an exclusive breaking news story from the news conference at Appalachian State Kid Brewer Stadium.
Coach,
Yes.
what went into the decision to decline the holding penalty in the fourth quarter, to get to 4th and 8 and decline it as 3rd and 18?
I thought during the game, that'll be one you all will ask if they make it. So if they don't make it, you'll forget it and move on. So thank you, Ross. You made me right again today.
Doing my job.
And Taylor's going to ask some stupid question right after this. So I got him ready. I can tell by looking at him, he's excited. This sounds stupid, but I read analytics from all over the country every week. And it's interesting. We do what we think's best, but Hawaii had a 4th and 4 against Vanderbilt that if they had taken it, it would have been a 4th and 14, a 3rd and 14. They let it stay at 4th and 4, and they went for it and made it and scored right before the half. So Gene and I, in our 5 seconds that we have to make those decisions, said that it's a whole lot harder to make 3rd down and 16 than it is 4th and 8. And then we held them, and it was going to be 4th and 12, so it was the right call, and then we have the late hit. So we just felt like that we were better off backing them up at that time in the game because they had to go 4 downs, and we knew it. And we felt like with 2 opportunities, with them being 3rd down and 16, it was better than the 4th down and 8.
Coach, Caleb Hood had obviously a tough year last year with the injury, then had the fumble in the first game. His performance today, he had that big 3rd down conversion, then the 71-yard run. How good did it feel to just see him have that sort of redemptive performance today?
It looks like with our running backs, it's going to be who's got the hot hand. Because we wouldn't have thought Caleb would have been the guy today, and Omarion had some tough luck and fumbled one that's early, and then George had some good plays. DJ still the old vet that knows what to do, as was the case with the free release on the extra blitzer. None of the other guys are ready to do that. So we just feel like that right now we've got to keep growing. This offense should get better every week because they're so young. And I thought the offensive line did a good job. When they got down by so many points, they started blitzing every play. And then you got big play, bad play. And I thought they handled it pretty well.
With the young receivers, how much do you think it helped that Drake was going with them last year? Guys like Gavin Blackwell, J.J. Jones, Kobe Paysour with the 2s and having that chance to kind of build that chemistry.
I think it helps so much. And Drake is a gym rat, like Sam. He threw with them all summer, and he throws in Charlotte when they're down there. And Bryson Nesbitt, he makes some great plays, not good plays. So I just feel like that they're going to get better and better and better each week, and that's exciting for our offense, and that'll help our defense. The defense is going to feel really bad. The coaches feel really bad. I've told them to pick their head up, and everybody going to be on them, and I said, you've earned that. That's okay. But go back to work, man. If we keep scoring points like we are, and we can improve our defense like we should because we got better players than we're playing, we got a chance to be really good, and that's exciting.
Mack, coming out of the opener, one of the things we had talked about, you had talked about with Drake and Phil had talked about was the footwork and maybe having a little happy feet. But it seemed like just from up there today, he had the subtle slides backward to be able to buy enough time and create enough room. I mean, it looked like that just maybe some of the subtle moves back there were impressive. I don't know if that's what you thought or you saw it that way.
I think so, without question. He's got a great feel in the pocket, is what I would say. And his release is so quick. He can have his body in any position and make a throw. And most people can't do that. They have to gather themselves, and he can be on the run and throw it. And he's not going to take many sacks normally because he's going to get the ball out of his hands, and he can run. So they've got to be really careful. When they lose contain, he can make 15 yards up very quickly. So that's why I think he's got everything. He's got everything except experience. He needs to get stronger, and he needs to have more experience, and he needs to quit flipping when he doesn't need to. Yeah, that was uncalled for. So we'll work on that tomorrow as well.
We got time for one more.
Mack, how do you go about instilling confidence in the defense after 61 points?
I guess you'll ask Coach Clark the same thing. I mean, that's what you do is you coach them hard. Really and truly, when you win the game and don't play well on defense, it's the best thing that can happen to a defense because they're going to be so embarrassed. They're going to feel accountable, and they're going to get with their coaches tomorrow and start working on fixing things. Like I said, if we played bad on defense because they scored so many points, scored 21 early, and then we shut them down for a while, and then the game was over, and then it wasn't. And part of that was the offense's fault too, with a 3-and-out and a turnover. But the defense has got to step up and stop it. So we're not doing, even when we got the interception, we get 3 points. We got to have 7 points. That puts them out of the game. So there's a lot of things that go together with both sides, and we score fast. So they're out there a lot. And I noticed we had the ball 23 minutes to their 12 at halftime. So we were wearing them out. And then we go out and get a 3-and-out to start the second half, which is you just can't do. But the defense will feel a sense of urgency. They'll feel like they let everybody down. Coaches won't sleep tonight. They're already watching the video. And I think you got to give App State some credit too. They at first didn't think they could run the ball against us, so we saw different things than we've ever seen with them. We saw screen and go. We saw reverses. We saw everything. They emptied their complete playbook in that first quarter. And then we settled it down. We played really well for a while, and then we came back, and the same thing happened. Then they started running the ball better on us. And what we've got to do is give up the explosive plays. I don't know what they were, but we had a whole bunch of them. They had a whole bunch of them. I'm sure Coach Clark's thinking the same thing. It's what we did last year. We had too many penalties on defense and too many explosive plays. And that's what you got to quit doing. And it's easier to quit doing it after you win.
All right, thanks, Coach.